Welcome back to the Paranormal State, Washington, and UFO UAP. With Makāula Nakae, a lifelong experiencer and ET contactee since 1990. Today's episode: Mexico and UFOs and the Paranormal. Mainstream integration and cultural openness in Mexico. If Sweden approaches ufology through meticulous archival preservation, France through institutional state science, and England through historic ghost stories, Mexico approaches UFOs and the paranormal with an uninhibited, nationwide and culturally mainstream passion. Mexico is widely considered one of the most active, open, and culturally unique hotspots for aerial anomalies and high strangeness on the planet. The foundation of this national phenomenon rests on a total lack of social stigma and an embracing media landscape. Unlike in Western nations where discussing UAPs or anomalous encounters can risk professional credibility or invite immediate mockery, Mexican media treats the subject with mainstream journalistic respect. Major Mexican television networks, national newspapers, and respected broadcast journalists regularly feature UAP footage, field investigations, and civilian accounts as standard daily news rather than novelty sidebars. This mainstream openness extends to the highest levels of government. Mexico made global headlines when its Congress hosted official public hearings on UAPs, featuring prominent researchers, pilots, and military witnesses testifying openly before lawmakers without political penalty. Discussing UFOs, folk legends, and esoteric phenomena is seamlessly woven into daily Mexican conversation. Because the subject is treated as an organic, living part of the national culture rather than a fringe conspiracy, witnesses feel entirely secure coming forward. When everyday citizens capture strange lights over Mexico City or rural volcanoes, they are met with community discussion and scientific curiosity rather than isolation, transforming Mexico into a uniquely welcoming harbor for high strangeness. Mexico's skies have long served as a global stage for some of the most meticulously documented, visually stunning, and historically influential UFO events on record. From legendary astronomical observations in the 19th century to massive modern flaps captured on live television, Mexico's high strangeness timeline is packed with landmark events. The July 11, 1991 eclipse wave, Mexico's national awakening. The cosmic timing. On July 11, 1991, a rare total solar eclipse swept across Mexico, plunging millions of people into daytime darkness. Millions of citizens were gathered outside with their eyes locked on the sky. During the height of the eclipse broadcast live on national television, professional news crews and everyday citizens across Mexico City and surrounding regions spotted an anomalous, metallic, disc-like object hovering right in the daytime sky. The footage was captured concurrently by multiple independent camera operators. The event instantly ignited a massive national UFO craze, turning Mexico into an international magnet for ufologists, media syndicates, and researchers overnight, and cementing Jamie Mawson as a household name in broadcast journalism. The 2004 Mexican Air Force FLIR incident. In a rare and globally praised move, the Mexican Secretariat of National Defense, SEDENA, officially released classified infrared FLIR video footage recorded by a Mexican Air Force Mercury C-26 surveillance aircraft. On May 5, 2004, military pilots operating over Campeche detected 11 high-altitude, luminous objects that appeared to surround and track their aircraft. The pilots observed the objects on radar and visually through thermal imaging, confirming that the anomalies moved independently and evaded interception. It remains a foundational milestone of official state UFO disclosure in Latin America. The 1883 Jose Bonilla observation, the first astronomical fleet. The Zacatecas Observatory, long before the invention of radar or modern television. Mexican astronomy recorded what many consider the earliest photographic evidence of an anomalous fleet in space. On August 12, 1883, Mexican astronomer Jose Bonilla was observing sunspots at the Zacatecas Observatory. While photographing the sun, he noticed hundreds of dark, circular, structured objects crossing the solar disk. Bonilla successfully captured over 300 of these objects on wet plate photographic negatives. While modern skeptics have debated whether the objects were high-altitude geese, floating debris, or swarming insects, historical analyses and astrophotography experts have repeatedly marveled at the event as a remarkably early astronomical documentation of unidentifiable aerial fleets. Beyond these globally famous milestones, Mexico's unique geography and cultural landscape have birthed several other legendary high-strangeness phenomena. The majestic, active Popocatépetl volcano near Mexico City is internationally famous as a persistent UFO hotspot. For decades, automated live streaming webcams pointed at the crater have captured glowing, cigar-shaped or spherical objects darting directly into or out of the active volcanic crater at astonishing speeds, leading to wild local theories about subterranean or intra-Earth bases. The 1975 Cuenca de Benitez crash, Mexico's Roswell. In August 1975, reports emerged of a military recovery operation after an unidentified craft allegedly crashed in a remote mountainous jungle area near Cuenca de Benitez in the state of Guerrero. Witnesses reported heavy military cordons, strange metallic debris, and rumors of a secret retrieval, earning it a permanent place in international crash retrieval folklore. The 1990s Puebla flap. Throughout the early 1990s, the state of Puebla experienced an intensive wave of nocturnal lights and close encounters. Citizens routinely reported structured craft hovering silently over fields and towns, accompanied by intense electromagnetic anomalies that disrupted local power grids and vehicle electronics. In Mexico, the boundary between popular culture, journalism, and the supernatural is wonderfully porous. While Western nations often relegate ufology and folklore to the margins of pop culture, Mexico embraces the high strangeness with a theatrical, proud, and deeply spiritual energy that anchors it firmly in the mainstream. Mexico's modern engagement with the unknown has been heavily propelled by dedicated investigative journalists, most notably Jamie Mawson. For decades, Mawson's television programs, live specials, and investigative reports have kept UFOs on primetime television, turning complex aerial investigations into accessible national discussions. This mainstream appetite for the extraordinary regularly spills onto the international stage. High-profile media moments such as Mawson's presentation of contested non-human mummies before the Mexican Congress showcase a nation uniquely willing to throw open the doors of its highest governing institutions to debate the bizarre. Mexico's dramatic geography has birthed booming sectors of alternative tourism. The majestic, active Popocatépetl volcano near Mexico City serves as an international mecca for anomaly hunters. Because automated live streaming webcams are trained on the active crater 24/7 to monitor volcanic activity, citizens and researchers worldwide routinely capture glowing, cigar-shaped objects darting directly into or out of the erupting crater. This has turned nearby towns into thriving hubs for astrotourism, skywatching tours, and international conferences. To understand why Mexico maintains such an open, uninhibited relationship with the unknown, one must examine its terrestrial spiritual landscape. Unlike cultures that draw a sharp, clinical line between physical reality and folklore, Mexican society is built upon a profound, living synthesis of ancient Mesoamerican cosmology, Aztec, Maya, and Zapotec and Spanish Catholic tradition. This syncretism has fostered a national worldview where the boundaries of the material world are porous, and the extraordinary is treated as an everyday reality. At the heart of Mexico's folk culture is curanderismo, a holistic system of traditional healing and spiritual stewardship that has thrived for centuries. Practiced by curanderous male healers or curanderous female healers, these traditional practitioners view illness and distress as multidimensional events affecting the body, mind, and spirit. They utilize a powerful blend of indigenous herbalism, prayer, ritual cleansing, limpias, and Catholic iconography, such as images of the Virgin of Guadalupe, our local saints. Curanders specialize in treating conditions that modern allopathic medicine rarely addresses, such as susto, fright or soul loss, mal de ojo, the evil eye, and energetic intrusions caused by unseen spiritual forces. Rather than dismissing these ailments as superstition, communities treat them with deep cultural respect, bridging the gap between physical health and the supernatural. In daily Mexican life, supernatural is rarely feared as an abstract horror. Instead, it is respected as an active ancestral layer of existence. Deeply rooted in pre-Hispanic cosmology is the belief in Nehuels, shape-shifting entities, or spiritual guardians capable of taking animal form. This worldview sees humans and nature as part of an interconnected web of consciousness. Conic legends like La Llorona, the Weeping Woman, or the spirits of the dead celebrated during Dia de Muertos, Day of the Dead, are not treated as mere ghost stories for children. They are cultural touchstones that reinforce the idea that the dead never truly leave, keeping the boundary between the physical world and the spiritual plane remarkably thin. In Mexico, the seamless integration of ancient indigenous traditions with folk Catholicism creates a society uniquely equipped to embrace high strangeness. Because everyday life is already enriched by curanderismo, ancestral spirits, and a profound respect for the unseen, anomalous phenomena. Whether an unidentified craft over a volcano or an inexplicable light in the desert are met not with cynical rejection, but with an open, culturally validated sense of wonder. In Mexico, UFOs and the paranormal are loud, proud, and culturally celebrated. Supported by historic mass sightings over eclipses, rare military FLIR declassifications, primetime news validation, and a profound national openness to the unknown, Mexico stands firmly as the beating heart of Latin American ufology. To be continued. Watch and listen. Watch the cinematic video trailer. Listen to the full podcast now. Explore the archive Cosmic Awakening Volume 1, 1991, Peru, Journey into the Unknown. Sacred Valley of the Incas. Volume 2, Ascension 2012, The Golden Alchemy. Part 3, The First Contact, The Paranormal State. Join the journey. New episodes drop periodically. Each chapter delivers a tight, hyper-focused 10 to 30-minute hit of real-life experiences, perfect for your daily plunge into consciousness exploration. Subscribe to support your inner development. Thumbs up to help push our channel through the algorithm. Comment below. Share your thoughts on today's episode.